My next guest is going to be fighting for the strawweight title against champion Mackenzie Dern coming up here at UFC 330 on August 15th. It is Gillian Robertson back here on the program. Gillian, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you today?
I'm doing great, but I'm not going to be fighting for a UFC title. Congratulations. I know this was something that we had talked about before your last fight, but when you finally got the call, just how happy were you? Especially because, this was a change you made a couple of years ago, moving back down to strawweight. Now you're going to be fighting for the championship.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of knew it was coming in a way. Whenever I finished the Amanda Lemos fight, it was literally like right after the fight that Dana and Hunter were both telling me that I was going to get the opportunity next. So I guess I kind of knew the opportunity was coming. I was just waiting for the date. But even once I did get the date, it obviously meant so much to me. Like I definitely was crying a little bit that morning, it's an exciting moment.
So they told you were going to get the title shot. Was there any worries at all that like maybe Weili was going to come back down or anything like that? Like, did that cross your mind, or what was the confidence level that you were going to get this, even with them telling you?
I guess I was confident. The only worry was Weili, because I do think that she never lost the belt. She gave it up. So I think that she does deserve to come back down and challenge for it again. So I was definitely kind of worried about that. But obviously the UFC thought that it was my time.
You're one of the few Canadians that's going to be fighting for a title in like UFC history. There was one other woman who fought for the strawweight title. Do you know who that was? She actually used to train at a gym you used to train at.
Valerie Letourneau.
There we go. Exactly. Good. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you remembered that. That was a long time ago, but I just wanted to test your trivia. So you're the fourth Canadian woman in UFC history to fight for a title. That must be pretty, cool. You're part of the history books now.
Oh, I'm just hoping to solidify that a little bit more. I want to be the first to win.
For sure. No, fair enough. But I thought that was kind of neat because there isn't a lot from Canada there as well. And let's talk about Mackenzie. Obviously, we know she came from the jiu-jitsu world before transitioning to MMA, but her striking's improved a lot too. We've seen that, especially over the last couple of years. So is it just two well-rounded fighters going at each other? Because obviously your ground game's very good too.
No, I think that's exactly what it is. I think that everybody expects it to kind of be a striking match because we're both known as jiu-jitsu girls, but I really see this fight going everywhere. I think that it's going to show elements of both of our games in the striking and the wrestling and the grappling. And I think that, I think the fight's going to be kind of all over the place.
Now, because obviously Mackenzie's a champion and we know how dangerous she is everywhere, do you bring anyone else in this camp to kind of mimic her, or are you just with your usual training partners over there at the Goat Shed?
A little bit of the same partners. We did bring it. Well, she's actually just starting MMA, so it was kind of convenient for me in this time period. But Leilani Bernales, she grapples for UFC BJJ. She's competed for them a couple times.
Nice.
Yeah, she's making the transition to MMA at the perfect time for me because she's a great wrestler, great jiu-jitsu, and literally has like Mackenzie's style, except she's probably got like 15 pounds on me. So it adds that little bit of extra strength that I have to fight off. And it's literally the perfect look right now. It's just timing couldn't have been better.
Does it make it a bit easier too? Like, I mean, obviously as soon as Mackenzie won the title, I'm sure you already started scouting her. I'm sure you also thought at some point you were going to fight her. I don't know if she had that same benefit. Like she doesn't know when she's going to fight or whatever. Like how much of a benefit is it that you probably knew at some point you and Mackenzie were going to fight? And so you probably studied her a lot kind of on the way up.
Still don't know if she's even studied me at this point, honestly.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
feel like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like she is overlooking me a little bit. I've heard just like in interviews and stuff, the way that she talks about either my past or my fighting, it sounds like she knows absolutely nothing about me, which I'm like, if that's the case, good for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, always nice to be underestimated a little bit. And then the cut, I know this is something, I mean, you've had, I don't know how many fights now at strawweight. It seems like you got it down to a science, but you got to make it right on the dot at 115 for the title fight. So how's all that going? We got lots of time before you have to make 115.
Oh yeah, like you said, we got lots of time. We're on a good trajectory right now. So it's always going to be rough. It's always going to suck, but we're going to make it, no doubt.
When do you stop smoking? Like, or do you not smoke at all during camp? I was wondering about that.
No, I guess, well, I smoke until like weigh-in day usually.
Oh, so you do smoke. Yeah, but you just stay away from the food, I guess, because that would not be good for the weight cut is when you get that appetite, right? So.
Yeah, honestly, it's really when I have like edibles more than anything else that I get the munchies. When I smoke, I don't really get them that much. So I stay away from edibles all through fight camp, but that's about it.
There you go. After the fight, though, you can have a few. Your corner, I imagine that's going to be the same who will be in the cage with you for this title fight, because I think you get extra, right, with it being a championship fight.
Yeah, I do get one extra. I kind of usually rotate my third spot anyway, so I'm just bringing in the other person that I usually rotate it with. So it'll be my coach Dean Thomas, obviously, my striking coach Mango, and then Roybert Echeverria and Adrian Garcia are my two training partners that I'm usually switching out because they're there for me every camp, both of them.
Okay, there we go. And how's this fight playing out? 5-round fight. How do you see this one unfolding on August 15th?
I think obviously I'm taking nothing away from Mackenzie. I know she's got a lot of fight in her, and she's obviously got a dangerous ground game. But I think that my MMA grappling is going to be too much for her, and I see myself getting a TKO. I want to say second or third.
Okay, I like the confidence in that one. What about the main event of your card? Who's taking the title at welterweight between Islam Makahchev and Ian Garry? What do you think about that fight?
I think it's hard to count on Islam right now. He's just so dominant. I don't see Ian having a lot of options to winning that one.
Obviously, a lot of people are talking about Ian Garry in the news. I don't know if you caught some of the clips or the interview he had where he said, I think that women should rule the world. And then he had all these comments about how he cries during Disney movies. I don't know if you saw that or if you have an opinion on it. I was just curious because obviously you're sharing a card with him and he's getting a lot of negative backlash because of that.
I feel like he always gets negative backlash, honestly. I feel like no matter what Ian Garry does, he doesn't get a lot of love from the sport. But I don't know. Women should rule the world. I can't argue with him, you know?
Okay, there we go. We kind of talked about it there. If all goes well, you win the belt and all that, do you want to have that first title defense in Canada or that doesn't matter to you?
If it's going to be in Canada or Shanghai, I'm happy with it. I just know who I want to see across the cage for me.
Yeah, and that's Weili, obviously. Like, do you think she's coming back? Because, it's interesting. We saw that, I'm sure you saw the clip this week about her getting this, like, makeover done, which kind of led people to think, like, is she done fighting? What did you make of that? And I didn't recognize her, actually, until they pointed it out it was her.
No, exactly. I did not recognize. Even when I knew it was her, I didn't think it was her. Like, I had to go to her Instagram and, like, put side by side, like, holy shit, like makeup is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that is the case. Maybe she is done with it. And for me, I don't like that. I'm like, I would like to, I feel like when I do win this belt, it's what Mackenzie's experiencing right now is everybody's going to say, oh, it's Weili's belt. Like they never took it from Weili.
Mm-hmm.
So I really hope that she stays in for my sake.
And how do you look at a fight between you and her? Just because, again, she's got really good striking. It would be an interesting matchup. Your striking's come a long way too, but we see a lot of like really good striking from Weili as well. I'm sure you want to test yourself against that, or even on the ground too. Weili's got some submission ones as well.
Oh yeah, and I think she does have great striking. She's very athletic, very explosive, and we saw what a heavy top pressure grappler can do to her too with her versus Valentina in her last fight, where I think that I am a little bit more well-versed once we do hit the floor, where I feel like I'm going to just be able to maneuver more than Valentina did and maybe find a submission.
And I guess that's the annoying part too, is that like, if you don't get to fight Weili, people always be like the what if, right? So I know too, it's like, you hope that she does end up coming back. And I like how you said you'll fight her in Shanghai, because that would be appealing, I'm sure, to her. So it doesn't matter, I guess, right? Shanghai or Canada, but that would be sort of ideal for you is what you're saying here.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like I said, for my sake, I hope she comes back, because I think for my career, that is such a huge thing to solidify myself as well. She's such a legend in the sport. I feel like everybody does respect her, and to have a win over her would just really solidify me as one of the legends in the sport as well.
Well, also, I'd say, too, like, it's one of the big fights that's left at strawweight right now. There's just not a lot of noise being made, although there is one fighter. I'll mention her in a sec. But Tatiana Suarez, I think, is sort of the other name that's like, that you haven't fought that I think would be kind of like an intriguing fight with her wrestling and everything.
I'm like, I think I know who you're already going to mention. I'm like, I've seen her all over Instagram last week.
Okay, yeah. Let's talk about her then. What did you think of Fatima Kline's win last week? What did you think?
No, it's definitely impressive. And I definitely think that, like, she's on maybe one more win and I would see her getting a title shot. I wouldn't be surprised if I fought Weili. She had a fight in that time period, and then Fatima would be the next one to challenge. I definitely think she's on that trajectory, and she's someone I'm watching. Yeah,
well, and I think, too, she's undefeated, and she's pretty young for the weight class, too, so I think that's where there's a lot of intrigue, and just the fact that, like, she really did dominate Tabitha in that last fight, right? So you got to be happy about that, too, because, like I mentioned, like, there hasn't been a lot of noise other than, like, outside you, really, and a few other fighters in the weight class in this division, and if you look back, like, years ago, remember, you had Weili, you had Rose, you had, Joanna, like, I feel like now, like, we're starting to get to that point again where I think some fighters are kind of emerging and making the division really exciting again. I don't know if you'd agree with that or not.
Oh, 100%. It's exactly what all the women's divisions, it's exactly what they needed. I feel like we don't really have that little spark right now. Like you said, like when we had Weili and Rose and JJ going back and forth, trading the belt. I'm like, they are just such legends of the sport. They are held up to that, I don't know, that next level. They are really just the only word to say is legend. So I'm like, I just want to be in that same group, and I hope that we can bring that entertainment back to the strawweight division.
And how crazy is it that we're talking about this fight in August? You know, it's the first women's title fight this entire year. I know Nunes and Harrison was supposed to happen at the beginning of the year, but how crazy is that it's taken this long just to get a title fight in the women's division?
Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely crazy. It's been so like more than half the year's gone by, and I just hope that when I'm champ, we can be more active.
Yeah, no, well said. And what do you make of that? Because like Valentina hasn't defended her belt yet. I would assume Natalia Silva's fighting next, but I've heard like next to no news. Have you heard anything? I don't even know what the reason is why Valentina hasn't fought or defended her belt at all.
I honestly thought I saw last week that some page announced that it was Natalia Silva and Valentina, but I'm assuming maybe it wasn't real or
Oh,
something
it's
like
so
that.
hard these days with it's so annoying too. Cause like I'll have someone message me being like, what do you think of this fight? I'm like, I don't think that fight's happening. Like some guy made a poster, especially with AI now, they just like make up announcements. But I mean, yeah, she will probably fight Natalia next. I just don't think they've like set anything in stone as to what card that's going to be on. Right.
Yeah, I guess I haven't really looked into it further. I do think that that's I don't know. I don't think that's going to be the most interesting fight to watch.
Okay.
I think
Why just
that
their styles you think, or what's the reason for that?
well, just in general, like if Valentina's been winning her last couple fights, it's been more just controlling on the ground where it hasn't been the most fun. And I don't think that Natalia Silva is going to be able to get really off her more powerful strikes. I feel like she's going to more play on the outside if she is trying to avoid the takedowns with Valentina. So it's going to be more Natalia trying to avoid the fight and Valentina trying to just control on the ground.
And I mentioned it there. Do you still think Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison's going to happen? Because we still got a bit of time, but obviously there was a pretty serious injury for Kayla. They haven't announced when that fight's going to take place, but your gut feeling, do you think it happens?
I don't know. I honestly think that was the one opportunity for it to happen was at the beginning of the year. And without it happening, then I don't know if it's ever going to happen. I don't know if we're ever going to see that. And it's a shame because I feel like I said, with me having to fight Weili, I think that's the same with Kayla. She has to fight Amanda to really solidify herself. It's not the same.
I agree. Gillian, thanks for doing this, especially on a weekend. Really appreciate it. If there's anyone you want to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Always thankful for my team and follow me at savage_UFC.